Now, before we get stuck into this whole episode, we have a little exciting announcement.
Dun da 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 da. We have merch.
Woo! Oh fuck! I'm all caught up on cables. Woo! Yeah, baby. We have a glorious new tote bag out, which says "Put things inside me."
I love that. So everyone, when you're wearing it on the tube, it's like, you know, they might not know what it's really referring to, but they're like, oh, how cute, that bag says "put things inside me" because you're a bag. But actually, there's an illustration of a flower that looks like a vagina.
I was going to say, you'd have to live under a rock to not really get what it was doing. But they're one-sided, so if you're feeling uncomfortable on your public transport journey, you can flip them over. Hide it from that, you know, that nun pointing at you and judging you. We also have stickers, which look incredible. We are really thrilled. We had the wonderful Kat Lobo create them for us, with us, if you will, and we're so excited to share them with you. So make sure you go to our website to check them out.
comecurious.co.uk. I can't wait to put the I consent to being used one on my laptop.
My water bottle is going to be covered.
You're listening to Fucks Given, the one with your questions.
Ooh.
I'm just really excited.
Oh, that's nice.
Just doing a little dance.
Do a little dance.
It's been a weird day. I suddenly I was having a bit of an anxiety moment before coming on this podcast.
That's poo.
So I've just been puffing on my CBD vape
Now we're gonna get
a crazy old woman.
Now we're gonna get a stoned Florence yeah, man, cool.
Just so chilled.
So chilled.
But yeah, if anyone doesn't know, I am Florence.
And I'm Reed. Nice one.
A little segue.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back to the episode. What's on upon us? What
is on upon us?
I don't know what is going on here. Today is not a good day. Actually, I did want to explain my current situation because I look like I'm in some kind of den, and that is because I am. Yeah. Basically, I have built myself a den.
It's very apt for the episode. You're in a crack den now. Fuck. This is a way that Fucks Given is gone.
I'm trying to make, because my room is so echoey, I've been trying to make it a little bit better. So I've drawn the blinds. I've got my duvet cover and blanket behind me, and I've got some foam things around me.
You've even bought a new rug too, which surely will have something, maybe. Does
I've got this fucking pop shield, whatever. Anyway, so if you're watching on YouTube, that was an explanation to the weird location it seems that I am in, but I'm actually in exactly the same place that I usually am.
Yeah, it does look like you could be anywhere. In some Bedouin tent somewhere.
Who knows? I might be back in LA.
Woo! Spooky! Psych!
Psych! You know what's coming up soon though, Reed?
What?
Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day though. I'm one of those people.
I love Valentine's Day when I have a partner.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I haven't... I think I did... No, I have experienced Valentine's Day without partners. Last year.
Last year must have been.
Yeah, I was fucking miserable. So yeah, I completely sympathise. I hear you.
You know when I hear about Valentine's Day as a single person, it plants some horrible fear feeling inside of me of being alone.
Yeah, Valentine's Day isn't very single friendly, and I feel like we do need to change that, but it's just so it's like what you were saying before about people love, and so people not just want to be in love. They fantasize about love. They look towards Valentine's Day promotions and want that, and maybe even buy them. Yeah, it's quite like what capitalism at its peak, just feeding on people's loneliness.
Basically. Yeah, and then also their generosity and their love languages and all of those things. But overall, I think when you're in a relationship, I like Valentine's Day because I think it's a really sweet time to just take advantage of doing something nice for you and your partner together.
Yes. Or for yourself. You know, taking yourself out on a date, although nobody wants to go out on Valentine's Day because it's just...
This is true. And I think... yeah, that's the thing, is that we should probably, as single people as well, do something for ourselves on Valentine's Day. It could be about our relationship with ourselves or with our friends instead of a lover.
Yeah. One of my friends on New Year's Eve did a whole sexual ritual thing and like got rid of all of the bad and welcomed in all of the good. And like, you know, there could be some cool shit around that you could do. Light some fucking candles, get your favourite sex toys out, watch some porn. Get yourself a takeaway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm down for all of those things. I have a quite exciting Valentine's Day this year because I'm launching my solo podcast on Valentine's Day. For everyone that is like me and doesn't have a partner on Valentine's Day, they can listen to my voice instead. Comfy and in their heartbreak.
Oh, that's going to be amazing though. And also, if you don't want to give yourself a date on Valentine's Day, I think last year I was literally just in bed being miserable, probably crying.
Give your I think it is important actually to give yourself some space to feel those feelings as well, because when I put my therapist hat on, then they would just say you've got to feel the feelings to get through them.
Feel the feels. It's like, but I don't want to feel the feels. I want to ignore the feels.
It's
with
so
alcohol
needed,
and drugs and all the things I've been using badly.
I think it's really nice to hang out with like friends, do like a little galentine's.
Yes, the
single people.
Did we not do something like that last year? We did like a online galentine's thing. I have like a vague memory of like getting, or maybe I'm thinking about Lethally Her and Their Amazing Diary.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that was a Galentine's Day thing.
But definitely, if you don't have someone to share it with, do Galentine's, do Boyantines. You know, tell your mates that you love them. Before, I think I've definitely when I've been in relationships, but before relationships, I remember like my first experience with Valentine's. I remember it really well because I was laughed at. But I gave my teachers love you cards. I gave like my favourite teachers. I was in I think I was 9 years old.
Stop it.
I gave my teachers, and I probably was a little bit in love with them. In love with my very, very gay teacher. Actually, maybe, I'm not sure if my other basically two of them I loved. I was like obsessed with. And then also I gave like two of the boys that I actually fancied Valentine's Day cards, but I wrote like, you're a poo head and I hate you, because I obviously don't want to tell them my real feelings. And then I got into trouble for it. Like fully into trouble. They like called me in, sit down meetings. Like, why did you write these cards? These are really rude. And I was like, I don't know. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, it's because I actually fancy you guys. Like apparently it really hurt their feelings. And I was like, fuck, man. It's just trying to cover up my own feelings, but actually hurting somebody else.
Oh, bless. I actually can't really. I think I've blocked out loads of Valentine's Day stuff from my memory because it was just like mediocre. Nothing ever really was that amazing. Apart from my Valentine's Day last year was very cute. Yeah, very, very cute.
That's nice. I feel like when we lived together, we did Valentine's Day stuff. I remember sticking like a little heart chocolate on your door, and I think on Chantel's door. But fuck it, so long ago. That would have been like what, 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love Valentine's Day. I think I always have loved Valentine's Day. Whether
you love love.
I love love. And I always like I know that it's like so capitalist and consumerist and like buy. But my love language is gifts. Like I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts.
That makes so much sense then to like why you would love it so much.
Yes, it's literally all around it. And like I love using it as an excuse to like, especially when you're in a long-term relationship, when you have been in a long-term relationship, you kind of need those important dates to remind yourself to go and do something nice for each other or go for a meal. I mean, we were smart on Valentine's Day. We would always get takeaway, but then we would go for a meal at some point else and make it into a thing and get each other cards or a little gift. And even if the gift was like a snack, you know, like some chocolate and some crisps and shit.
Yeah. I think like actions say a lot, and like when people actually put the effort in to do something nice for each other, it's such a nice way of showing your love for that person.
And it doesn't.
I was just going to say, I realised what my love language was recently as well, which I had never actually clocked before, because I was like, I was talking with, maybe I've even spoken about this on the podcast, but I was like talking with a friend about how we loved birthdays. And so it was like, but a combination of like acts of service, someone like being there and really like doing something special for you and like putting in that care and effort, combined with I don't even know if it was combined with gifts, to be honest, because it's almost like the gift is irrelevant. It's more about what they do for you on that day.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be money. Like it doesn't. You don't have to buy something. It's just taking that time and care. Like baking something or making something is more valuable to me than somebody paying for like an expensive thing. You know, it's like it's just having that time to sit and think about that person and think about what they like or what they might enjoy. So like,
put like even like putting something nice on to wear, like when you go and meet your partner, like that means, and like just bring them a fucking rose, like you know, and you can get them so cheaply on Valentine's Day.
Non-gendered either, you know, give your boyfriend, give your male partner flowers and chocolate and gifts. Like it doesn't have to be the man buying the woman something. I think that's like that's tired and old now.
I got my ex a golden condom.
That's beautiful.
For Valentine's Day last year.
That's fucking beautiful. I love that. That's so nice.
It was very cool.
I had to warn Sam. I was like, Sam, I'm probably going to have to get you something. You don't have to get me anything, but I'm going to have to get you something. He was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't, he's not really a Valentine's lover, but I'm like, we're going to have to.
Love it.
I mean, weirdly, we are doing stuff now. Not weirdly. We've been invited to this thing. So we're going to Killing Kittens for their Valentine's Day ball, which is cool.
Oh, on the actual Monday.
So it's on Thursday before.
Right.
And I've been to Killing Kittens before, but not like to this Valentine's ball. Apparently there's going to be like burlesque shows and things.
Oh, wow.
And then on actual Valentine's Day, we've just been invited to London's first throuple restaurant.
What?
Yeah, like it's a restaurant designed for like 3 or more peeps, I believe. Throuple peeps. So we're gonna bring a date along and go and have a meal.
Wow.
I know,
that's cool.
And we're chatting to this really cute girl as well, so we're really excited.
Oh, you're inviting her out on Valentine's Day?
Yes, gonna invite her out to the Valentine's Day restaurant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what people should do if they're on their own on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, like go as a
just
couple,
go
right?
gate crash someone else's.
Well, I mean, I always thought it was. I don't know whether it's just me. Do you get that feeling of like the third wheel? Because I never feel that feeling. I never feel like a third wheel, and I never feel like when somebody's joining my partner and I, they're a third wheel. But then lots of people are like, oh, I don't want to be a third wheel. Where does that come from?
It really depends on the situation, I think, and it depends on the couple. Yeah. Because I think some couples can make a third person feel really awkward, or they can make them feel really included. So I think it really depends. Yeah,
and I think some people are like, oh no, can you just fuck off now? I just want to be with my partner. But I'm like, more the merrier. Come join us, yay!
Yeah. I do get that. Yeah. But I think it's nice to not be a third wheel. Wait, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Delete.
I don't know, because I definitely have friends who are couples that I could easily hang out with them all night. But maybe they're thinking, please read fuck off now. And I'm like, this is nice.
You're just like the aggressive third wheel.
Yeah. I'm just like, I will be here and you'll like it.
And I'm not going to leave.
I'm not leaving.
I will sleep in your bed in the middle of both of you.
I'm never a middle person. I always have to be on the side.
Oh, yeah. I can't be a middle person either.
Definitely not.
Oh, I remember after the one threesome that I did have, there was 3 of us in the bed and it was not good.
If it's just a regular, normal, double-sized bed,
it's just a normal double-sized bed.
It's not acceptable. You need like a fucking super king. Or what was it? I'm looking at beds at the moment, learning about bed sizes. Emperor size. Yes, Emperor King, or whatever it's fucking called. There's just some mad
basically
sizes.
Like 2 kings next to each other.
Now that's the dream.
Mad.
Yeah, can't get that in my house, but
Yeah.
someday.
Well, let's get on to your questions. Okay, so first one. How do I get over being embarrassed about having to incorporate a vibrator every time I have sex? I know people talk about vibrators as a fun little add-on, but I literally can't come without one, not even on my own. And I get embarrassed having to explain to a new partner that I can't have sex the regular way.
This is fascinating because I've been feeling exactly the same way. Exactly the same way, yeah. And even though, like, very communicative, well, I say no shame, obviously there's some shame, little shame, being like, yeah, of course I need a vibrator. I still have an issue with being like, can we get the toy? It's like I'm waiting for my partner to say it, to allow me to get the toy. And like, fucking Sam's great. He's just like, absolutely. He's like, get the toy before we even fuck, you know? It's like, he's very on it, which is amazing. But I still have that issue where I can't be like, and sometimes when I really need it, I'm like, can we maybe please get the vibrator? And I'm still cringing on the inside about it. Why?
I feel, I've had that same feeling as well. Exactly the same feeling. I think the last time I had sex, I was like halfway through, I was just like, do you mind if I get my vibrator?
Yeah,
like, why am I asking,
mind?
do you mind? Do you mind if I grab something that's going to help me orgasm whilst your dick's inside me?
Is it all about... Is it all about the idea that your partner should be enough to pleasure you? Is that where it comes from? And we've got that thought process in our head that they're going to feel conscious, they're going to feel like it's going to affect their self-esteem if we're just like, I need a vibrator, which is ridiculous when I can't come without one either.
For me, like, I feel like maybe... because I'm aware that other people don't think about sex as openly as I do, I'm always conscious of how they feel about these things before, like, because we haven't had the conversation, or you don't, like what this person said, like, they don't want to have the conversation every time with a new partner. But there are a lot of people out there that still won't really understand,
or like actively,
and that's why it's difficult,
or actively go and be not just like okay with a vibrator, but like know what to do with a vibrator and have it be a part of your sex life every time. I feel like we do just need, every partner, we need to be like, this sucks, but I cannot come without a vibrator, and that's the be all and end all. So we need a vibrator every time if you want me to come. And then almost like you feel embarrassed if they don't get it, because it's like, shit, well, I'm not going to be able to come. I don't want to ask for it. They're going to think they're shit. Or worse, they're going to not, I don't know, like, just think that I'm not cummy. I don't know.
I'm not cummy.
I'm not cummy enough. People love the cummy.
She does. Yeah, I mean, and also a lot of people say, I'm really into seeing you orgasm. I'm really into like giving you pleasure. And then that puts a lot of pressure on you, especially if you need a vibrator as well. You're like, well, you know, I'm not going to be able to come if I don't use this. So,
and sometimes it doesn't matter how horny you are. You could literally be dripping wet. You could be so into something, and yet something in your brain switches that part off, and you cannot come still. I literally had that issue last night. It's like we were playing fucking loads, and I was using the vibrator in the exact same way that I always use it, and I still took forever to come. You know, it was, and it's nothing wrong that he's doing. It's nothing wrong that my partner's doing. It's something that's going on in my mind that's stopping me, that's not letting me focus and enjoy the sensations and really focus in. It took all my thought power and concentration, and like I had to be like, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And this, and this, and this, so I can fucking come, please.
Yeah. Well, I think firstly, like, we need to put the point across that there is nothing to be embarrassed about when it comes to needing to use a vibrator to come.
Absolutely nothing.
So many people need a vibrator to come. Like, orgasming can be really difficult, and it's a process, and it's like learning how to orgasm is also like, it's something that you have to learn about on your own as well, and go on your own journey with. So, but in the meantime, you might just need a vibrator.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you might need a vibrator for the rest of your life, but there's nothing fucking wrong with that if it's making you
wrong
come.
with that. Yeah, it's so hard for women to come. It's so hard for people that own vaginas to come. I mean, vibrators have been such an incredible invention, and yes, it was unfortunate we haven't had them from when we were fucking born on this earth till now, but it's literally like, yes, I could do a manual wank. Yeah, I could wait for you to give me an orgasm, but why would I want to walk somewhere that's fast distance when I can get in a car and get there quicker?
Exactly. I never wank with my own fingers.
Never.
I
tried to.
It would take me, I don't even know if I could.
No.
It would take me so long.
The arm cramps, the pain, the tensing. I used to do that as a teenager. Yeah. But that was me back then. Now I've got like 1,000 vibrators in my army to back me up and help me come quicker.
Yeah, how can we have these conversations with people and like get the embarrassment out of being like, I'm going to use this vibrator whilst we have sex?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we got to do some affirmations. Maybe we got to literally talk to our vibrators and be like, thank you for giving me orgasms when I never had them. You know, tell your partner, as soon as you fuck your partner, as soon as you're with your partner, as soon as you're with your whoever, be like, okay, I cannot come without the use of a vibrator. Are you cool with vibrations? Like, do they turn you on? Do they turn you off? Is it too much? You know, a lot of people are afraid of vibrators because they don't know how to use them. They're not used to them. It's not like, again, sorry to generalize dudes, but it's not like guys go out and buy a vibrator and play with them themselves. It's very rare that they'll do that. They maybe will buy male sex toys, but it's very different to buying a wand and being actively excited to try and practice on people, because it's so different and it's scary. It's fucking... the first time, like, I put on a strap on and peg someone, terrifying.
Yeah. Maybe it is about finding a specific vibrator that you're so excited about and like finding that thing that really works for you. So like when you're just so excited to introduce it to a new partner, be like, you'll never guess what this does.
Yeah. Yeah. You wanna see? You wanna see what this does to me?
You wanna see what this does to me? You wanna see me come?
And I think anyone out there whose partner finds it really hard to orgasm, like, you need to be strong in that, just like keep going. It's okay. I know it feels uncomfortable. Let's keep going. So there isn't that just like that give up. Don't let them give up so soon. That's what's really helped me, is that, like, Sam, if I'm just like, oh, it's not gonna happen, I want to give up, I'm bored of this, and he's like, no, we're gonna keep going, and that I'm just like, oh, okay, you're actually invested in my pleasure. You're not about to fucking give up. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. And even though I'm like, oh, I can't do it, like, make it into a fun game. It's like, no, I fucking told you to keep that vibrator there. And you fucking... I'm turning myself on right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like, this is the thing, is that we just need to be having these conversations with people. And that's what it comes down to. Because the things that we are embarrassed about are just the things that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah. We understand that an orgasm isn't everything. It's not something to put on a pedestal. It's not the thing that makes your sex great. You can have amazing sex without an orgasm. But for a lot of us, and my thought process is still there about orgasming, I don't feel satisfied unless I haven't achieved an orgasm. And so it really depends on how you feel. But I do remember once that orgasm goal was taken away, once I removed it, where it's like, well, you don't have to have an orgasm to have great sex, was removed, I did find it so much easier. There was a little switch that went off in my head that I was like, okay, cool, like, let's just try and enjoy the sex without it. And then it did open me up more. So yeah, there is something to say for that.
100%. Oh, 100%.
110 GB. Sexual interruption.
We're here to talk to you about CHEEX, a platform that has everything from adult films, erotic audio stories, live workshops, and a taboo-breaking magazine.
CHEEX is one of our latest sponsors, so thank you for sponsoring these podcast episodes. I was checking out their kinky stuff last night, and well, hello. They even have like a tickle video, and I was like, hi.
They do not.
Hello.
Wow.
Which is really rare to find, so I was really happy.
They also have my favorite thing, which is audio porn. So if you want to just sit back, relax, and masturbate whilst you're listening to a really sexy story, you can choose a female or a male voice to read out the stories. So they have different ones. I was just looking at one earlier, all about wintry hiking and finding like a log fire to like get all loved up next to.
So CHEEX is kind of sexual entertainment and education. It's ad-free, virus-free, and completely legal, which of course we love.
And we have a special treat for you curious fuckers. You can get access to CHEEX free for 14 days when you choose their yearly subscription. So use the code GIVEN and click on the link in the podcast description.
Their membership costs $14.90 a month if you pay monthly, or £9.90 a month if you pay yearly.
But use the code GIVEN for 14 days free when you select a yearly subscription, which you can cancel at any time.
Check out the CHEEX website now at getcheeks.com. That's spelled GETCHEEX.com, and the code is GIVEN. Holy shit! So this listener has asked, what should I do if my partner has a lower sex drive than me? I feel so unsatisfied.
Oh my God. Did you just get a flashback, Reed?
The trauma, the flashback.
The PTSD?
Fuck. Hello? Sex, are you here?
Where are
you? Yeah. We've been there. We've both Florence and I have been knee deep in that type of relationship where our partners haven't been able to match our libido. And it's tough. And it's not just physically tough, but it's also really tough on your mental health and your relationship itself. I feel like the relationship suffers so much when there is a mismatch of libido.
It's so true. And like, I really hate going there as well. The fact that it's just like, I mean, firstly, before you go there, actually, before I say, maybe you should break up.
Yeah, well, let's put a little disclaimer. I'll slip that one in there.
I think it's really important to be able to communicate with your partner when you have different sex drives. I remember one of the main problems in my relationship where that was the case was this inability to actually sit down and talk about it and receive the information. I don't think my partner was very great in receiving, and I don't think that maybe I spoke my truth in a very good way, because it was more like, why won't you have sex with me? I need this, I need that.
That anger.
Like, and that wasn't a beneficial way of going into the situation. Because I was just so hurt at the time, because it made me physically feel unattractive, like not sexy, like what, like why don't you want to have sex with me anymore? And it was all this like internal unwanted kind of abandonment issue kind of stuff. And I didn't approach the conversation in a very good way. But I think when you come at it from a really level playing field and just open up the conversation about sex generically, like, let's talk about sex. What can we do together to ignite this conversation?
Yeah, if they don't want to talk about sex, then that's also another conversation to have.
Yes.
It is helpful finding somebody or being with somebody that matches your libido, but that match can start perfect at the beginning and then change throughout time.
We all change,
especially like different people. There are so many different reasons why we maybe like get affected. Our libido changes, like hormonal is one of the biggest ones especially for women, but also for men, also for people born with penises. Testosterone is like, their horny bug. It could be things like maybe the relationship isn't really there anymore. Maybe this person is so stressed with work. Maybe they don't find themselves attractive anymore. They, instead of like internalizing on ourselves, maybe it's stuff that's going on in their life. It's more than likely stuff that's going on in their life. But not saying anything is doing yourself and your partner and your relationship a disservice.
Yeah. I feel this, like, obviously I really feel the dissatisfied feeling. And that's another thing that's like, if you're both super comfortable about sex, you talk about it, but when it comes down to it, one of you just doesn't want to have sex as much. Then the conversation is, okay, well, if we're not having sex as much as I want, then I am left a bit unsatisfied. So what can we figure out together to make this situation better if we want to stay together? Yeah. And then does that mean opening up the relationship? Does it mean different ways of exploring intimacy that your partner's more open to? And you might actually get something like quite fulfilling from an intimacy that isn't sex.
The last thing you want to do is put pressure on your partner and say,
yes,
we need to have more sex. You do not want to force them to have more sex with you. That's not the aim of this conversation. It's supposed to be, how can we make it work for both of us? Not even like a compromise as like, you need to fuck me once a week. That's fucked up. That's like sexual coercion. You want to stay well away from that. You want to ask things like, what's the stuff that we can do to make us feel more intimate, to make you feel more sexy, to make us feel more connected. I mean, one of the best ways that my ex and I had intimacy without the sex was he was reading me a book. He started reading to me, and that was amazing. And it did fill a space where sex could have been. And the intimacy, it did feel like we were close again, because I think for a lot of people, sex isn't really sex. Sex is just an opportunity to feel close to their partner, or to feel wanted, to feel needed, to feel loved, to feel beautiful and attractive. So it's finding out what sex gives you, and then how you can get those attributes in a different way. Because your partner's libido might never go back up. It might never meet yours. And hoping that it will, and trying to make that it will just make the situation worse. So finding it in different ways will be, hopefully, can save your relationship.
Yeah. For me, I found intimacy in like deep conversations with my partner. Like really just chatting for hours, having long phone calls and things like that. It's random. You never think of that as an act of intimacy. But when you really, really like pick it apart, you become so much closer because of those conversations. There's this like deck of cards that you can get, or an app called The and it just has an amazing selection of questions on there to prompt really deep like conversations to have with your partner. So I'd really recommend like looking into things like that if you do really want to make this work with your partner. But if you are just, sometimes sex is the reason for people to break up.
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, you can have great, strong relationships without sex. It is possible. But it just depends on what your needs are. And if your needs aren't being met, then you just have to sort of have a look at the relationship and where it's at, and if you can get those needs. Opening out your relationship is a good way to do that, but there's also a lot of insecurities, a lot of jealousy, self-esteem issues that could break your relationship apart. But maybe that's the catalyst you need. You know, your happiness, unfortunately, in this situation does need to come first.
It does, yeah. I mean, I know that for myself, I couldn't be in a relationship where I was with a partner with a lower libido, because that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. Cool, next question.
These are
some good questions. I'm gonna have to put my jumper on because I'm a little bit chilly.
Okay. Which one should we do?
I hate these adverts.
Yeah, they're all really good.
What, the questions?
Yeah.
Huh. Fake doms is a good one. But fake doms, I mean, we have spoken about briefly before, but not in like a question format.
Maybe we'll do number 8 next. Okay. How to educate a guy on eating pussy when you don't even know what you like.
Okay, this one I find really hard, because I find it really fucking hard. Like, I almost find it impossible to orgasm with eating pussy, so it's something I skip over a lot.
So you don't even really like the act of it.
Yeah, and I don't know how I would tell somebody to make me come, because it's only maybe happened a handful of times.
So what I would say for this question is it should be an exploration for you both. And I think if you put it that way to your partner, then that's what's going to make it really, really exciting. So you can both be on this exploration together, and just be like, hey, like, I don't really know what I like down there. Should we try a few different techniques and like see what works best, so that, you know, I orgasm or I get loads of pleasure. But I think, yeah, really framing it in the way of let's both educate ourselves would be really, really great, rather than just putting it on the person that's eating you out as well, because that can be a tough conversation anyway. Like, if someone's going down on you and you're like, this isn't doing it for me, it's then really hard to be like, so maybe you could try do this.
Yeah, because also if you direct them and it doesn't work, then you feel stupid, which it shouldn't be something that we hide away from. But then it's like, you don't know your own pussy.
Well, that's the other side of the question, is that really you need to do the exploration for yourself as well. And like, I really do think that actually, in line with one of our sponsors from this episode, doing courses online to learn about how to, like, you could do the course on how to eat pussy, so that you learn like what things could be done to pleasure you down there, so that when you then come to the situation, you could be like, oh, why don't you try this? I just did this course on this, and like this technique looked really fun. Or you can use your hands like with loads of lube to kind of mimic tongue movements, and really explore your own body first.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. I do know that, because I know that I come more easily with internal pleasure, or like something filling me up at the same time, then at least I know I can tell my partner, like, can you put something in me? Can you also play with my nipples at the same time? And then just like keep consistent on my clit, but don't like lick on my clit, lick around my clit, you know?
Yeah.
I think masturbation obviously helps that a lot, but
100.
Also being able to communicate. It's so hard when you're in the moment. It's so hard to communicate that.
I really hate telling people what to do when they're going down on me. I don't really like being a commentator for like, oh, maybe you could move here or do this or do that. I like to have the conversation either before or like a bed pillow talk conversation afterwards for next time.
Yeah, or maybe during, if you are the eater, ask questions, especially if it's the first time eating out. You know, like, ask a lot of questions. Ask what feels good, what doesn't feel good. You don't have to ask constantly. If I do want to come, then I know that I have to get a vibrator involved with oral, and not being afraid of that. That's also important.
This has reminded me of like an episode that we had way back with Ben Hurst, and one of his tips for like being really good at oral sex was the fact that he got himself onto online courses.
Yeah.
And like actually did the education and actually learned stuff.
Yeah.
There's just so much power in that.
Yeah, and same with just, again, the foreplay part. Not just foreplay towards the pussy eating. So making sure they're comfortable, warm up the whole body. Also, I know it's like winter right now, but I am struggling to come if I'm cold. I want to be nice and warm, if not hot. So temperature can be a massive one. Like, keep your socks on, or like ask them if they need more covers or something like that. You know, suffocate down there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
we even listen to our oral sex episode.
Yeah.
With your partner. Just be like, hey, I just found this new podcast. Want to listen to an episode with me? Oh, look, this random episode on oral sex.
Yeah. Oh, God. I do love oral, but I get so frustrated when I can't orgasm. Sometimes it just takes to be like, hey, I'm not going to come. Maybe the pussy eating doesn't have to result in an orgasm. It can just be something nice and enjoyable and pleasurable. Yeah, it can be a warm-up for sex or penetration. It's hard. I think it's about being proactive. Both partners have to be proactive in exploring and pussying. Yeah. Last question. I have waited so long for my sexual debut, but I feel I've left it too late. What if I'm terrible? Oh, that's so sad.
I mean, I was just about to say, everyone's terrible their first time, so...
That is true, yeah. It's hard having sex for the first time. It's nerve-wracking, it's sickening, you are so terrified because you've built this idea of what sex is supposed to be up in your mind.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's that it's just so built up.
Yeah.
Like, for everyone. You can't really get out of the fact that it's built up. Like, there's this whole thing that we constructed, like the virginity. But that shouldn't even really be a thing.
No. And you're right.
I just think... Well, I mean, also... I mean, you're going into it pretty prepared. You're a curious fucker, for God's sake. Like, you're
That's
here.
True. You've got the most good advice, hopefully, to prepare you. But, nothing can prepare you for having sex, really.
No.
Because I think the more pressure you put on yourselves, the worse it gets. I think it's one of those where, and I don't know if everyone agrees, but like ripping off the plaster, ripping off the Band-Aid and just going and fucking doing it, getting over that first hurdle of like scaredness and be
practice makes perfect.
Okay. Yeah, practice does make perfect. The first time's never going to be good. It's never going to be pleasurable. What makes it good, what makes it pleasurable is being able to laugh about it, is being able to be confident and have a fun time rather than
I don't know
just
if
a
I
conversation.
agree that it can't be good or pleasurable. Like, I think the first time can be good.
Yeah.
I think as long as you take it slowly, you're communicative, you use lube, like...
Yes, use lube.
Then you can have a really nice time. And I think as long as you and your partner are in the same space, the good space where you're communicating and everyone knows what the situation is. Well, you don't even need to know what the situation is, but as long as you're both just into each other and into the moment, then, not much can go wrong. It's like, if you've listened to this podcast, you know how to have sex.
Well,
if you've watched porn, you know how to have sex, the basic stuff.
You need the basics, right? It's just getting the basics. It's just in and out, right? And we're talking about penetrative sex here, which I think we shouldn't necessarily focus on. But
I hate to slide this in again, but one of our sponsors, CHEEX, has the perfect platform to really explore all of this because they have ethical, great porn you can watch, as well as courses, as well as workshops. So like, you'd kind of get the 101 before you go into the situation, and you can't really be more prepared than that.
No, you can't. A lot of it is just going on animal instinct when you're then and there. What do you think's better? Telling somebody before you have sex with them, like, I maybe haven't had sex in a long time, or I feel like a virgin, or I am a virgin, or do you think it's better telling them afterwards?
So this kind of happened to me last week, didn't it?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what would have been better, the fact that he said it, because he said it afterwards and just like that he hadn't had sex for a year, and suddenly it made a lot more sense. I feel like maybe it would have been good to know before, because then I would have been more on top of like initiating, like making sure that he felt good and safe and that he was happy with what was going on. And personally, I think, knowing beforehand would have been really nice.
Yeah, but what about the reverse? So, I feel like it's a very different thing if it's a man, a penis owner, saying that they haven't had sex in a long time or they're a virgin. But the other way round, I mean...
But you want someone to be gentle with you.
Yeah,
like, if it's
you
your
want them
first
to
time.
know. I do feel like a lot of guys, again, generalising here, forgive me, but I do feel like a lot of guys will, if someone says, I'm a virgin, they might be like, oh, absolutely not, I don't want to go there.
But then do you want to sleep with those people?
It's a good question. I don't think you do.
I don't think you want that person to have your sexual debut.
No. They're not going to treat you right. They're not going to do it well. I think probably, Then talking about maybe, if you are a virgin or if you haven't had sex in a long while.
Yeah.
Talking about it with them, I think, is really valuable. And especially it makes you both on the same page. It doesn't feel like there's any dishonesty there afterwards when it's like, oh, yeah, so...
I think that's the thing with everything sex related, everything sex and relationship related. You've always just got to be honest. Like, there is nothing beneficial from not being honest, basically. Like, you know, no, if you're honest, then you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, if someone doesn't accept your honesty, run a mile.
Exactly.
They are not right for you, and the sex will be bad.
Yeah.
It will end in tears. So yeah, run. Yeah, good little question that there.
Great questions, curious fuckers.
Yeah,
wow.
nice one. Yeah, really
love them.
Put us through it.
So we've also asked you to send in your fuck off stories. I think we're going to start doing one fuck off story at the end of the non-guest episodes as well, and they're going to be your stories. Ooh.
We are so impressed with these fuck off stories. We had a few come through, but they are all anal related. Like, what is it about anuses and fuck offs that you all love so much?
What were we saying in the hard or soft episode? Like, it's literally just always anal.
Always anal. It's always shit related. Always anal. I feel like maybe that's just because I suppose it's the main genital out there that everyone has. Everyone's got an arsehole, regardless of gender.
Is true. Maybe this is why.
Yeah, it's just
plus like
another whole...
anal and he always equals shit in some respect.
It really does, and people love that for a fuck off story.
Everyone loves toilet humor.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
I maybe wouldn't say loves toilet humor, but I mean, I fucking love toilet humor. But
people like poop jokes.
They do. It makes things fucking funny. Poo is funny. All right, Florence, give us today's fuck off story.
Okay. I'm a dude and I got myself a glass toy to experiment with prostate stimulation.
Amazing.
I tried it out and it was quite nice. After cleaning it up in the bathroom, I put it in my pocket and sat down to pee. The dildo fell out and shattered on the stone floor with a very loud explosive sound. My parents were home and I knew that they had heard it. The floor was covered in shards and I had no idea what to do. They never said anything.
Oh my, why is, okay, firstly, what's wrong with your parents? Why have they not run up and checked if you're okay?
Right?
And been like, son, are you okay?
And then they would have been like, what is this? What did you break, son?
Yeah, I mean, you could cover that up quite easily, right? If it's just glass, but still...
What would you say? A bottle? A shampoo bottle? No, there's no liquid anywhere.
I just dropped a thing... I love that this dude is like super into trying out and experimenting with his prostate though. Nice one.
I love that. That's why you wanted this one in, isn't it?
Yes.
You were just like, I want to promote healthy exploration with your prostate and stimulation.
Gotta represent the prostate love.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, well done. And to be fair, I feel like parents never really call you up on this sort of shit because they don't want to know.
Yeah, what did you do? I mean, how did you clear it up? And also, it must have been a massive smash for it to break.
That's so funny.
Because it's like toughened glass, isn't it, those dildos?
Yeah. Oh, that's really sad, actually. You lost out on your glass dildo.
I know. I hope you found another one. I hope you enjoy prostate exploration further.
So if you have your own fuck off story, please email it in to us or watch out on our Instagram for when we need you to send it in to our DMs. Wow, Florence.
Yeah, make sure... Sorry.
I was going to say the email address is fksgiven@comecurious.co.uk.
Or you can slide into our DMs on Instagram with the title F Off Story. Of course, our Instagram is @ComeCurious, and Florence and our Instagrams are ReadAmberX and Florence Bark.
Yeah, go see what we've been up to. And also, you can watch this on YouTube, so make sure you go see our lovely faces over there. And make sure that you leave us a rating and subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Rate it, review it, 5 stars.
5 stars. Also, not to forget to mention, but we have merch out. We have these cute, amazing tote bags out, and you can get them. You can get them and actually rep the podcast if you are a true curious fucker.
And I'm most excited about the stickers because the stickers are wonderful. They've got the Curious Fuckers Club sticker, so you can put it like on your laptop case, on your phone, on your water bottle, anywhere. I'm like one of those people that love stickers all over my laptop.
And that is just normal URL, gumcurious.co.uk, motherfuckers. So go and check it out.
See you next Thursday, Curious Fuckers.
Next Thursday. Mwah.
Bye.